Okay, so you're gonna hear my phone go off throughout this because I'm stupid, and I decided I'm gonna start this while I'm in the middle of texting my boyfriend because I can, and he's being an idiot. And yes, I know he's watching this, but he's being an idiot because I talked about him coming on here one day when he's here for a week. We're hoping it's a week. And he said something stupid. You hear me? You said something stupid, and I just yelled at you for it. Anyways, I don't know what to talk about. I'm not going to plug the channel because, first of all, there's no videos. Second of all, people that I know have this YouTube channel, and I don't want them going to the other YouTube channel that I'm about to talk about because it's embarrassing. But I'm going to try and create a YouTube channel for kids. I have multiple Google accounts. The one I have made for my niece. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm gonna call her by her nickname, which would be Ren. And she is very young, and she also has a sibling on the way. And I would like to, because I babysit a lot when Ren's here, and I would like to have a channel where I'm reading stories. Because I feel like that would help her a lot, if you know what I'm saying. And I mean like a lot. I also really love kids, so I mean they get on my nerves sometimes, but that's just kids, you know. Even when they get on my nerves, I'm very nice. I love kids so much. Growing up, I actually had to watch my nephew at the age of 9 or 10. My sister had me watch him all the time, and I was basically taking care of him almost 24/7 when they were at the house because they were living with us. And she's my half sister. And give me a second. Anyways, she's my half sister, and I was like 9 when I was watching him. I'm gonna call him Zay because I don't want to say his name. But I was watching him when he was really, really little. The only thing I didn't really do was I didn't change his diaper, and I fed him most of the time. So yeah, I really love kids though. I'm trying to convince my boyfriend to come on here for a podcast because I want y'all to meet him, because I have at least one person other than him that views my videos that actually I know looks forward to my uploads, which makes me so happy. In the future, I'm actually thinking about becoming a streamer, but I don't really like showing my face right now, so I want to become a VTuber. I don't know if you've ever heard of VTubers. I take inspiration from a few. They are male VTubers. One of them's a girl. Her name's Iron Mouse. I'm pretty sure she quit from what I saw. But she was always an inspiration. I watch Shoto, or that's how you're supposed to say his name, but it's spelled SHXTOU. I watch him a lot. I recommend him. I recommend all the VTubers, I'm going to say. I watch a lot of Kenji. I watch Kenji a lot. I watch someone who used to be called Hex Haywire, but Hex quit. And then Cairo, or however you say. I don't know how to say his name right. It messes me up all the time because I don't know how to pronounce names. I pronounced it right a few times, and then when I don't say their name for a while, I forget. So, Curio, Cairo, something like that. But Kiefer, I really wanted his plushie when it was out, but I couldn't get it. It's very expensive. I don't have the money for that. um, they're totally not the same person, wink wink. Not at all. I've been watching. Who else did I used to watch? I used to watch Mista when Mista was still a VTuber. I used to watch a lot of Ike when Ike was a VTuber. Sometimes I watch Luca Castriano. I watch Shu. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It starts with a Y, but Shu. Um, sorry. I do watch Shu sometimes. I don't talk in chat. I am one of those people who don't talk. Who else did I used to watch? Vox Akuma. I watched a lot of Vox Akuma as well. Who else? I know, Uki Violetta. I watch a lot of Uki Violetta. I really like Uki. I haven't gotten to watch any of these streamers in a little bit. I've gotten kind of busy, and as you know from the last episode, I've gotten really depressed and have been struggling with my mental health a lot. So I've been trying, but it has been hard. I don't know if there's any other VTubers that I've watched. I've watched so many, I don't think I remember them. I've watched some Thai VTubers. Babel. I don't know if anybody knows Babel. He's Thai. I may not know what he's saying in his live streams, but that doesn't mean that I don't watch, because I will still support. And I've had a lot of people, when they see that on my Instagram, in front of my pictures, I have K-pop, Stray Kids, and I think I have ATs too. If you don't know, the main groups that I listen to are ATs, Stray Kids, Tomorrow by Together, ENHYPEN. I listen to a lot of ENHYPEN. And all these groups that I'm saying, I listen to a lot. G-Idol. Who else was there? Oh, X-Love. I really like X-Love. Their song One and Only. I'm obsessed with it. I can't think right now because I listen to so many groups and I can't check my Spotify. Oh wait, I can. I have 2 phones. I forgot. My mom has a timer on my one phone, so I can quote unquote sleep, which still doesn't work. I listen to P1 Harmony. I'm just gonna list off the K-pop groups, not other artists. Let's see, who else is there? I listen to some EXO. I don't listen to them a lot, but I do have some of their songs in here. I listen to some BTS, not a lot. I have My House by 2 p.m. in my playlist because I really like that song. I have so many. I have so many of ENHYPEN and Tomorrow by Together and ATEEZ and Stray Kids. I have so many of them in my playlist. NCT 127, Love on the Floor. It's mostly Stray Kids, bro. Oh, you can tell who my main group is. NCT U, another NCT 127, Fact Check. I have Lee Seraphim, NMIX, Boy Next Door. Crap, who else? This is a lot of Stray Kids. Another P1 Harmony, X-Love, AT, Saja Boys, Minnie, Baby Monster, Cat's Eye. I do listen to Cat's Eye. I have Cupid by 50/50, Huntrix, more ENHYPEN and ATEEZ. I have aespa, and yeah, that's all I have in my playlist. I listen to a lot of K-pop. Um, an artist that I listen to that's not K-pop that I know is Chase Atlantic. I listen to a lot of Chase Atlantic. I have a Dutch Melrose song in my playlist called Run Run Run, and it's one of my favorites. Um, I grew up with ICP. If you don't know, ICP is Insane Clown Posse. They're not for everyone. If your parents don't let you listen to songs with cuss words, please don't play them. Cause I don't know who's watching. I don't know what age groups. Um, if you're not allowed to listen to cussing, don't play ICP, Insane Clown Posse, because there's a lot of cussing in their songs. But I grew up with ICP. I grew up with, who else did I grow up? I grew up with the Grateful Dead. My mom always played the Grateful Dead. She's a big fan of the Grateful Dead. Um, yeah, I've listened to so many different groups in my lifetime. And see, I get asked my bias a lot for these groups, and I don't know how to explain it. See, in Stray Kids, my main group, my bias is Han, but then my bias record is all of them because I can't choose. Like, it's the same for every group, bro. I mean, some I'll be like, oh yeah, this is my bias record, when in reality, they're all my bias record because they all look so good. Every K-pop group that I listen to, like take ATEEZ for example. My bias is Mingi, which by the way I got an ATEEZ album when I was in North Carolina and I pulled 2 Mingis. I'm sorry, I pulled 2 Mingi photo cards. I'm freaking out. I love them. He looks so good. Um but my bias in ATEEZ is Mingi, and normally I would say one of the members was my bias wrecker, when in reality they're all my bias wrecker. Let's see. In hyphen, my bias is Sunghoon, and obviously they're all my bias wrecker because they're all just perfect, like every other group. But a lot of the times I find myself really liking Suno or Nikki. Um, I don't know if that's how you pronounce their names. I can't pronounce names. I'm so sorry. Um, in TXT, my bias is Hyun Kai. I think that's how you pronounce his name, and I don't have a bias record for them. They're all my bias record. I'm still new to some groups. Like, the only group I'm not new to is Stray Kids because they're what got me into K-pop. Now, a lot of people say that BTS got them into K-pop. I don't know. I like BTS. Some of their songs are really good to me, and I have some of their songs in my playlist. But, like, I don't know. There's something about Stray Kids because my story of finding them was, it was not this summer, not last summer, but the summer before. Summer of 2023, basically, I'm pretty sure. If it wasn't summer of 2023, it was summer of 2022. But I was sitting in my room, and at the time, my depression was 10 times worse, so my room was trashed. But I was sitting there on my bed, and I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's, because if you don't know, I have been into Five Nights at Freddy's since 2015. I have loved Five Nights at Freddy's my whole life. I have so many plushies. I've done a few cosplays from Five Nights at Freddy's. My favorite is Foxy. I absolutely love Foxy. I want so much Foxy merch that I just can't get my hands on. I really only have 2 Foxy plushies. I have an Easter edition, which would be like the tealish green. And then I have a giant gingerbread Foxy, which is 6 inches. Or was it 16? I don't know. It's, oh my god. But it's a big one. It's from GameStop. And it's a big gingerbread Foxy. But wait, what was I talking about? I don't know. I don't remember. forgot what I was. I'm so sorry. I am tired though, and I barely slept last night, so that could explain it. Um, all I know is I was talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Why was I talking about Five Nights at Freddy's? Oh, I know why. I was sitting in my room. Anyways, back to the story that I almost forgot that I was telling on how I found K-pop and Stray Kids. I was sitting in my room. Obviously, at the time I knew about K-pop, I wasn't a big fan of it because the only groups that I ever heard of were Blackpink and BTS. And yes, at one point I did try to give them a chance. I listened to Blackpink. I didn't really like it. I don't know. It didn't hit right for me, I guess. I tried BTS at the time, which at the time I tried their viral song, which was either Butter or Dynamite, and didn't really like it. I don't know. I heard it everywhere. But, so I did try, but I didn't really like it, because those were the only two groups that I knew about. And so I was sitting there, I was listening to J-pop, because at the time I was really into Japanese pop music, really into Japanese pop music, and I was sitting there, and I'm listening to it, and I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's on my Xbox. Ultimate Custom Night, to be exact. I still have it. My mom bought it for me. But I'm sitting there and I'm playing, and all of a sudden the song Maniac starts playing, and I remember sitting there like, this is really good. Wow, who is this by? Like, I wanna know who it's by, because maybe they have other good songs, you know? And I'll just learn their name, like their group name, or whoever's singing. I'll just learn their name, so I can say who I'm listening to, but I'm not gonna get into them. So it's like, oh, they're called Stray Kids. That's cool. It's a group. And I was like, I gotta learn all of their names now. So I sat there, and forgive me for if I say anything wrong. I don't know how to pronounce stuff for the 50 millionth time. But, Bing Chan, Lino, Changbin, Hyungjin, Han, Felix, Sungmin, and Ian. And I just remember going, oh, those are some really pretty names. And I was like, I just gotta listen to some more of their music, And so I started listening to more. I was like, wow, this is really good. And I remember thinking, I like their fashion. Like, I love their style. And I love the way that they dress. Like, that's really cool. And I was like, I love their music videos. They have some really good music videos. And I just remember thinking, wow, is this a K-pop group? And I looked it up, and it was, because at the time I didn't really know what K-pop was. And I was like, this is so good. And I was like, I need to listen to this, And so I got myself more and more into Stray Kids, and I dug myself into a rabbit hole, and here we are today. I love Stray Kids. I've been a fan since like 2022, 2023. I don't remember. I think it was 2023. It's 2025, July 29th. Actually, I'm pretty sure this month is... Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure this month, a few days ago, made officially 2 to 3 years of me being a K-pop fan. 2 years. That's crazy. Wow. Sorry, I'm just like... Wow. 2 years. Wow. I have one plushie. I have a Quokka. I have Han's plushie. I want to get all of their although my plushie is a knockoff, I will admit. It's my mom at the time had this thing with Temu, and she got it off of Temu. I know, boo. Screw Temu, blah blah blah, whatever you want to say. Okay, I'm sorry. But I still have it because I refuse to get rid of it, even if I get like a real authentic Quokka and real authentic all of them, Because he was my first ever merch that said, hey, look at me, I'm a stay, And that is when I found out what a bias was, and a bias wrecker was. And at the time I was like, I really like Han. Han is like a really good fashion sense. He seems like a really nice guy, you know? And I was like, Han seems like the kind of guy that if he was around my age, which he's not, he's much older than me. I'm so sorry. I hate to say that. Oh. But I was like, if I were friends with him, he seems like the kind of guy that I would be friends with, you know, like the kind of person. He is the kind of personality that I would be friends with. And I was like, he seems really, really cool, you know? Obviously, I would, if I had the chance, I'd hang out with all of them because they seem awesome. Like, they seem like such fun people to be around. But I remember thinking when I saw Han, I was like, wow, he's really cool. And then I learned he was the rapper, one of the rappers of the group. I was like, wow, he can rap. And then I listened to one of his songs where he was rapping, and I was like, he's really, really good. And I was like, I think if I'm using this term correctly, because at the time I didn't know what a bias was, I was like, he's my bias. I really like Han. And ever since then, I have been a really big fan of all of them, obviously, but especially Han. And you know what I never understood? When I see people making fun of Stray Kids, I've heard before I was a fan of some of the struggles that they've gone through. I've learned a lot about them as a group, and I don't understand how someone could hate them. They seem like such nice people. All of them, all 8 of them. Like, I've heard people say Sungmin doesn't really show a smile because of hate. And if that is true, I know there's no chance of them watching this, but I don't understand. But when people say that their smiles aren't beautiful, I don't understand. They have like the prettiest smiles I have ever seen. All of them, like, and they're all of their visuals and their voices and all of them. They're an amazing group, and that goes for all the K-pop groups that I listen to. I've learned the K-pop industry is very demanding and rough, and I appreciate every K-pop idol that has gone through really hard times. Even the ones that haven't, that have had it easy, I even appreciate them. Like, okay, if it wasn't for K-pop, okay, if it wasn't for Stray Kids, if it wasn't for ATEEZ, Tomorrow by Together, any of them, in hyphen, any of them, I don't know what I would like today, because I have some hyperfixations, more than one I've had for years. The K-pop one I've only ever had for 2 years, as you know now. But my other hyperfixations are Minecraft, because I've been playing since 2016, and Five Nights at Freddy's, which I have liked since 2015. And I'm not going to say my age, but I guess you can figure out. In 2015, I was 5 when I started liking Five Nights at Freddy's, and in 2016, I was 6 when I started liking Minecraft, which both games have come so far. They've come so far. Another hyperfixation of mine is the Chucky horror movie. Chucky, scary movie. Child's Play. I really like the Chucky movies. I actually own a Chucky doll. I own Tiffany, and I have. A lot of people don't know that they have a son/daughter. Technically, are they them? Glenda. I have that doll too. My Chucky and Tiffany, they are animatronic, but my Glenda, they are just a doll. I have really liked their scary movies because my mom was dating this guy for most of my life who wouldn't let me watch scary things, and let's just say he was very abusive. I hate to use that word, but It's true, he was, and I was also constantly locked up in my room because of him. So at the time when she was with him, I had this thing. Oh, my headphones are glitching. I had this thing, um, for the Dream SMP, um, which I still watch some of the creators now. I watch Dream. Sometimes I watch George. I watch a lot of Sapnap and Carl and Quackity. Um, we got 3D printers, and one of the first things that I actually asked to print, which was the very first thing I asked my parents to print, was a little tribute to Technoblade, which it broke, and we have to fix it and or print a new one. I want to fix it, because the color, we don't have that filament anymore, but the color, I'm gonna cry talking about this. I cry so easily when it comes to techno. I'm sorry. Trying to keep myself from crying, but the filament really reminded me of him because it reminded me of his Minecraft character, because the one color was like the pink color of his Minecraft character, and then the other color of it was this yellow, or like a goldish yellow, which reminded me of all of his crowns and this jewelry that his Minecraft character would wear, mostly his crown, the most iconic part of his character. And I really want to save that because we don't have that filament anymore, and I feel like the statue wouldn't look right if it didn't have that filament, and I refuse to reprint it without that filament. So I want to try to fix it. If it can't be fixed, I want to try and ask for that filament again to see if we can get it again when we have money, and so we can reprint him. I think I don't know if I watch any other creators. I don't really think I do. The main person that I watch the most, the main people, I don't really watch a lot of George, which I hate to admit that, and I feel really bad. I don't really watch George Not Found that often. I do sometimes, though, because I like watching their newer videos and then their older videos because they bring back a whole bunch of good memories, especially of friends that I have lost throughout the years since I started liking Dream SMP. Like, since I stopped really liking the Dream SMP because they're not a thing anymore. Everybody else that I've mentioned, I do watch a lot, though. Quackity, Carl, Sapnap, Dream. Is that all? That might be all. But I watch them a lot, and I try to catch their streams again, just like the VTubers. I cannot. It's really difficult for me to catch streams. Like, really difficult. Actually, what started me and my boyfriend's relationship was I had posted on my Snapchat story about looking at the Sapnap merch store, I think, because ever since 2020, because that's how long I've been, 5 years, I've liked these creators, and especially Sapnap. I really like Sapnap, and I really wanted Sapnap's merch because I have Carl merch. I have Carl's merch, which was from 2021, and it's one of my favorite hoodies. It was $60, which my grandparents bought for me, and then they bought me a Dream hoodie years ago that I can't wear because at the time they bought it in my size, which was like a small. I'm not a small anymore. I'm like a large, extra large. Normally when I get hoodies, I get them in extra large because it's more comfortable that way when they're oversized, you know. But that's why most of my clothes, you'll find them in large, extra large. Most likely extra large. But I had gotten Dream merch, and I will admit, I do sometimes watch puns. I do watch puns sometimes. And my Dream merch was $60. I still have all the stickers from my Sapnap and my Dream merch. The Dream ones, I had used them years ago, and I actually, even though I used them, I refused to get rid of them because I don't know. I always really liked Dream's content, and I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for that, but I don't really care. I do still watch Dream. I am a fan of Dream. I want to get a new hoodie that I can actually wear, obviously in black, because I always get black hoodies because they don't show dirt. Um, Sorry, I don't know how to talk apparently. Um, but this Sapnap hoodie, I he reached out to me and offered to send me a gift card. I was like, there's no way, because I've had so many people offer to get me something and then they don't get it. He had actually sent the gift card to my email, and I was like, I wanted to cry so bad. I was so happy because I had been wanting a Sapnap hoodie since 2020, and or whenever the merch shop came out. I don't even remember when it came out. My memory is so fuzzy. But I had been wanting his merch for years, I remember. Like as long as his merch has been out. Even if it's been out since before 2020, the limit is 2020. That's as far back as it goes. But I remember trying so hard not to cry and wanting to hug him so bad, even though we were really just like acquaintances slash friends. Um, I like to consider us friends at that time because one of my favorite parts of was talking to him, because he would reach out when I was upset and had nobody else, and I remember being very grateful. And he doesn't know this, but I actually talked about him a lot, and people would be like, who? And I'd be like, I'm not gonna say his real name, I'm gonna say him by his nickname. Okay, I'm at the time I didn't know his real name. I'm not gonna put that out there, okay? Y'all don't need to know my boyfriend's real name. Sucks to be you. But I was like, oh yeah, my online friend Sim, he used to let me vent. Like, he lets me vent to him, and then after I'm done venting, we sit there and we talk, and I think I got him to like Stray Kids and blah blah blah, and people would be like, oh, okay, whatever, and he actually offered the one Halloween, which was my first ever Halloween not trick-or-treating and being alone, and he actually offered to text me. I mean, I ended up busy, and he ended up, I think, either busy too or just completely forgetting, which I find actually very real. I do that a lot. But he reached out after a while, and I texted him, and he was like, I am so sorry. Like, I forgot to text you, and then he was like, no, I forgot to text you, but it was a whole thing. But, like, he probably doesn't remember that. I remember that very well. But yeah, I don't know. He was always a good friend of mine, even if he doesn't know that I used to talk about him a lot. I used to talk about him a lot. And I always wanted to reach out to him, but at the time, I had been in so many damaged friendships that had called me annoying, and so that I was very annoying, and that I need to stop nagging people and stuff like that. So I was always scared to reach out to people that, I was scared to annoy, and he was one of them, because I didn't want to drive him away. And I actually may or may not have had a crush on him, but that's a story for another time. um, but when he was like, hey, I'll get you this Edna Putty, he was like, no, you don't have to do that, but like, okay, whatever. And I didn't believe him, and then he sent me the thing, and I was like freaking out, and I bought it. And I remember seeing that it was being shipped to my house, and I got so excited. And I remember being like, wow, I'm actually gonna get my dream hoodie that I've been wanting for so long. And when it arrived, it was like my favorite hoodie. I wish I had it now. I don't know where it went. I lost it, and I am so upset about it. I am so upset because I don't know where it is. Like, I had it with me, and then it just disappeared. And I haven't seen it since, and it's really upsetting me. But right now, I have my Carl hoodie, and then another hoodie that I bought from Dream.shop, which it's not Dreams merch, but it is someone else's. It's Puns merch. I have an embroidered, however you say that, an embroidered Puns hoodie, and it's embroidered with his name and then a little bumblebee going out. Hold on, I gotta find it, and then I'll explain the pattern. I don't even know. I'm gonna hold my microphone. I don't even know, because I have to be far away from the where I was. I don't even know if Dream and Puns are even partnered up together for a merch store anymore. I don't know. Sorry if you hear noise. I'm holding the microphone stand and it makes really weird noise. But the Puns hoodie is a punzo, I'm guessing, and it says Puns, and then the O is a little bee's nest, and it's a bee, and there's a heart, and it's embroidered. And see, okay, the reason why I will never let anyone make fun of me for wearing merch from Dream.shop and anybody else that is partnered with Dream.shop is because I love the way that they make their hoodies. They're so soft and they're so comfortable, and the fabric is like stretchy, kind of. And it's so comfy, and the extra large is an actual extra large, and it's oversized, and it's like the perfect hoodie. Like Dream and his team, whoever makes the merch from Dream.shop and anyone partnered with Dream.shop, they make amazing hoodies. Like, even if you wanted to buy one and just not have the logo on it, I guess you could take the logo off. I wouldn't do that. I personally like their logos. I like Dreams merch. I like Sound Up's merch. I don't have George merch. I really want George merch, and I want new Dream merch. But I can't afford it. I can't afford it, because I also want a Sapnap t-shirt with his brand on it. Like, to Sapnap, his name on the t-shirt, because I love Sapnap. I love his content. Like, I'm a huge fan of Sapnap and Carl and Quackity and Dream. I'm a huge fan of everyone that I watch. Who am I kidding? But yeah, I don't know. I really like the hoodies that they sell. They're really comfortable. Like, some of the comfiest hoodies I have ever worn. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, I need to end this right here, right now. It's been going on for almost 40 minutes. I'm gonna end this now. Okay. Bye. Have a good day, or night, or afternoon, or evening, or morning. Wherever you are. Have a good day. Bye-bye.